Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Tarheel by Dark. Uh, Today, we bring you a scene taking place in the deepest, darkest place one can possibly go in this world of ours, the dreams of a slighted kindred. Annika stands in the middle of a large warehouse. A spotlight shines upon her, illuminating the room just enough that she can see the man before her. In the shadows, untold numbers of her fellow kindred watch with interest. Annika leans against her cane, a sinister smile growing on her face as her victim fights against his bonds. The man's wrists are tied together above his head with a rope attached to the ceiling, his legs bound in such a way that instead of standing, he can only kneel on the dirty cement floor. Do you have anything you'd like to say to me, or to the other kindred you've wronged in your overlived life? Annika grabs the man by the chin and lifts his face, forcing his green eyes to meet her own blue ones. He spits at her, and Annika kicks him as hard as she can in the stomach. That wasn't very nice of you, Duke Tyson. She drops his chin and circles around him. You've been a thorn in the side of too many kindred. You've not only made life miserable for me personally, but you've lied to and double-crossed many others as well. Dr. Ekman, for one, your own damn proxy at Duke University. Mr. Marquez, a fellow Primogen. Too many others to name. Furthermore, you've tried to pay the Nos to kill the prince. It was pure luck that we were able to save him. Trying to pin the attempted murder on the Nosferatu was the icing on the cake of your evil. Now that everyone knows what a worthless bastard you are, it's time to keep my promise to murder the son of a whore who's been causing all these problems. Annika held her gun to the back of Duke Tyson's head. When I'm done with you, you'll wish I'd used this instead. She holstered it again and punched the disgraced Duke in the back of the head. She walked back around the Duke and looked down at his face. He looked back up at her, his eyes filling with terror as Annika pulled her fist back, activating potence this time. He opened his mouth to speak, but before he could utter a word, Annika had punched him in the mouth hard enough to break his fangs. One dropped to the floor, and the Duke coughed reflexively as he swallowed the other. You will never harm anyone again. Each word punctuated by either a punch or a kick with as much force as Annika could put into the blows. There was a pop loud enough for even Annika to hear as a particularly strong kick to the face dislocated Tyson's jaw. This only encouraged her more, and she kicked him again, hitting him in the ribs this time and puncturing his left lung. Another blow to the same spot shattered his ribs further, causing two of them to break through the Duke's skin and clothing. Annika leaned down and grabbed the Duke by the hair, forcing his eyes to once again meet hers. Have I made myself clear? The Duke nodded in pain, unable to speak. Annika dropped his head. I don't think you meant that, and unfortunately for you, I can't let you die until you've learned your lesson. She picked up a heavy pipe from a table nearby. It was about 1.5 inches around, and must have been made of lead or something equally heavy. Annika leaned her cane against the table and gripped the pipe in both hands, slowly stepping forward to meet her victim once more. She swung the pipe, hitting the Duke in the left arm and breaking his elbow. Tyson screamed in pain as Annika landed blow after blow. When she finally stopped for a rest, the disgraced Duke was nearly unrecognizable. Bone fragments stuck out from his body, and both his arms bent at unnatural locations in even more unnatural angles. His eye sockets were both shattered, one eye actually hanging free of the Duke's face. His clothing was in shreds, and through the tears he could see his flesh hadn't fared any better. Annika drew her knife and cut the rope holding Tyson's wrists above his head. She dragged him by the collar into a freight elevator, which carried them to the roof. She tied Tyson to a post inside of a cage, then locked him inside. She glanced at her cell phone. The sun will be rising in about 10 minutes. Annika started back towards the elevator, turning just before she entered it. The night we found that ghoul in Dr. Ekman's lab, you compared our appearance via the wormhole to something you would have seen on Doctor Who. I think the analogy is fitting. You see, if Ekman is the doctor, then you, obviously, are the master. But what you didn't realize was that far from a mere companion, I am the Valyard.